What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. How is everybody doing? Oh, I tell you what, stress of getting this stream ready in just a short period of time. You know, Mr. Reliable. I was nearly losing my nickname there for a second, wasn't I? I was losing my nickname for a second. Do you know what it is? I peeked through the curtain. Cages at Old Trafford. Cages at Old Trafford this evening. Hence why I'm back on the match view. And obviously my record is not great. At the weekend we're getting there. At the weekend I was on the match view for a game that we won. So that's positive. That's a start. My record prior to that had been horrendous. Absolutely horrendous prior to that. The other match views I've done this season was Ronaldo's first game, win, thumbs up, right? Then I did Liverpool. Then I did Man City, and I was like, oh. At the weekend, though, we did Crystal Palace, and we won 1-0. So that's a positive. And I'm back on tap tonight, so we're back. We're back on the match view in what is a really strange game, this. It's the final game in the Champions League group stage, of course. But we're ringing in the changes. Ralph Rangnick has absolutely rung in the changes. I tell you what, Red Devils, put it right there. Here comes Owen Lenz, Man United sports psychologist. Where's the comments coming up on the screen? There you go. I do want to talk about the sports psychologist because obviously I've mentioned it on before. That was my degree at university. It wasn't sports psychology. It was generalized psychology. But I did do some modules in sports psychology, so I do want to talk about that as the game goes on. But we'll get into the team news. Ralph Rangnick, of course, ringing in the changes, as one would expect, but we've got 11 of them. 11 changes for Manchester United tonight, as you can see on the screen there. So we've got Dean Henderson in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, Eric Bailly at centre back with Nemanja Matic. Now, previously, or the leaked news was that it was going to be Bailly and Mengi at centre back, but it's not. It's Bailly and Matic, which is certainly curious. Luke Shaw at left back, and then of course we're playing this 4-2-2-2, the 4-2-2 formation. So in those two deeper roles, we've got Donny van der Beek and Juan Mata. And we say deeper, they're meant to be box to box, and Juan Mata is anything but box to box. So I would assume Donny is box to box. Juan Mata is more of a deep lying playmaker, if you will. In those two wider roles, those two attacking midfielder roles, you've got Jesse Lingard and Ahmad back in, and then up front as the front two, you've got Mason Greenwood and Anthony Elanga. So a very exciting Manchester United side. 11 changes, some players that are definitely on the fringe of the squad of Manchester United. Certainly some players in there that people want to see play more often. So people like Donny van der Beek, people like Jesse Lingard, people like Ahmad, people like whoever. Tonight's the chance to really make a statement. And then, of course, on the bench, you've got the bench full of youngsters, like the likes of Heaton, Mengi, Shortia, Kovar, Hardley, Charlie Savage, of course, Robbie Savage's son. That's been the majority of the build-up on BT Sports, talking about Robbie Savage's son. And Zidane Iqbal as well. So we've got a very inexperienced bench. We've got I'm not going to say an inexperienced first 11, though, because I don't think that's right to say. Look at that first 11. I mean, no disrespect to young boys, and this is what I always say about when Manchester United rotate, that first 11 there should be good enough to beat young boys at Old Trafford. It should. I know we played a much stronger starting 11 against young boys in Switzerland than we didn't. And maybe it's naivety, maybe it's, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but that team should beat young boys. But it's interesting, it's a test. And if those players don't deliver tonight and they don't perform to the level they should be, then they've got no excuse when they're not in the Manchester United squad the next time around, or the Manchester United team the next time around. So a very interesting side. I think, obviously the things that really stand out to me there, obviously I'm excited about Elanga, seeing him for 90 minutes. I'm excited to see Ahmad, obviously Donny. I have no idea how Nemanja Matic is going to work at centre-back. Like, the pace is a concern for me. But if we're controlling the game, how much did we have? 66% possession, like we did at the weekend. If we're controlling the game, then who's to say that Nemanja Matic can't do that job against young boys? I don't recommend him to be a centre-back going forward, I must say, but against young boys, I think he can do a job. Again, Juan Mata in that box-to-box role, I think is slightly laughable, it must be said, but I don't think he'll do box-to-box. I think it will be tweaked. I think Juan Mata will be more of a deep-line playmaker as opposed to a box-to-box, but he'll still get involved. So, again, I still think Manchester United should and will win the game. We'll have to, how we play remains to be seen. I am interested to see, though, if some of those youngsters on the bench get on. They should. I mean, is Juan Mata going to last 90? Doubt it. So we'll wait and see what happens with them. But a lot of the other players, more senior players, bigger players, if you will, the Ronaldos, your Bruno Fernandezes, etc., are all being rested, and rightfully so. So it's an interesting one. It very much is an interesting one. We don't have a lot of time. I would call Flex or KG, but we don't have a ton of time. There's a delay at Atalanta versus Villarreal because it's snowing. It's snowing really badly. I don't know if you can see that on your screens wherever you're watching it. It depends what feed you're using. But Atalanta Villarreal. It is. What's the word for snow? Chucking it down? Can snow chuck it down? It's snowing it down in Italy. Yeah, and for the game against Atalanta Villarreal. But of course, this is going to be a bit of a curious game, isn't it? Certainly. So I want to get your comments in, as always. As Austin Baker says, like the video. Yes, like the video. Yes. We hit obviously 90k. When did we do that? Last Saturday. It was Saturday because I did a Saturday stream. It was my stream. Taking credit for it. Ring the bell. Boom. It was Saturday, wasn't it? We had the 90k, which is amazing. So everyone, like I said before, just unbelievable effort. That's bothering me as well. Get rid of that. There you go. Now I've got to be like lower. Ugh. That's better. Stuff like that just always bothers me. Stuff like that always bothers me. When you can see like little bits and top corners. The worst thing is when it happens and you've been doing a stream for like 60 minutes and then you notice it in the top corner. You're like, has that been there the whole time? Ugh. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Randy Jackman says, LOL, Owen's boom. Boom, yes. As Steffi Jenks said, oh, look there. Steffi Jenks is a mod now. Big up, Steffi. Deserved. Awesome to see. Big up the free seats. And you know me, El Presidente of the free seats. Kristen says, congrats. And scoreboard is correct today. Yes, it is. We had like against Palace, we had like the Arsenal scoreboard for a while. It was a bit frustrating, especially if you're one of those people like me. If you're like a details guy or gal, it can be very frustrating. Kristen said, you should have been here earlier, Owen. Then we would have time for a call. Wow. We could get into that. Leander says, where's KG? He's at the game. He's in Manchester. He is somewhere in that stadium, being his reckless KG self. But as we're having the Champions League theme play right now, what's your predictions for the game? Let me know your predictions for the game. Let me know your score predictions. Let me know your scorer predictions. Let me know where you're watching from. And what does KG normally do? What you're drinking? Let me know what you're drinking or eating. This is going to be a different game. This is going to be relaxed. This is going to be a bit of a chilled one, I think. So we can have a bit of fun. I think we can have a bit of fun tonight. This is going to be a bit of a different one because I don't know how thrilling the game's going to be. I mean, it might be thrilling in the sense of the football being played. Victor says 6-0. Nikhil says, morning Owen, 8 a.m. here in Fiji. Nice. Fiji in the house. One of those places I'd love to visit. Antonis says 3-0. Starlord says 5-1 because I'm feeling good. Santiago says, big up Mr. Reliable, holding down the fort. Big up yourself. Smash a like on the video. Jim James says, chance for Lingard perhaps. Absolutely. And the thing is as well, is he going to be staying? It's another topic of discussion, isn't it? Certainly. Lucas Chan said, did KG actually let you know on yesterday's stream he needed to sub you to sub in? Wow. All I'm going to say is that I had other business. I was working on some other stuff when that stream was happening towards the end. So, yeah, didn't know. Didn't know. It's a little bit late. Organisation. But we're here now. So, Leander says I'm eating ramen. Feels like I'm shooting all over again. Sue Fan says 2-0 United. Nice to watch a no-stress game. It is. Even if we get absolutely battered tonight, we're still top in the group. But we've got some big teams that we could be facing in the next round. The likes of PSG came second in their group. Who else? Can't be Juventus. They just topped their group after all that because Chelsea drew. I think Inter Milan came second in their group, Sporting Lisbon. So there are some teams there. But we've got to focus on this game first. Calvin says Man United 3, Young Boys 0. Madfoot, please show the game. Where can I watch it? Well, if you're in the UK, it's on BT Sports. If you're around the world, it'll be in whatever package your country carries, I guess. I don't know what the international broadcast deals are for the Champions League. I think in America, is it like CBS Sports? Maybe? I don't know. But of course, we cannot show the game on the screen. We would be thrown off of YouTube immediately, and it would not be good. It would not be good for the for the channel. I tell you what, we would be going places. We absolutely would be going places if United View had exclusive broadcast rights for the Champions League. It's somewhere to aim. It's somewhere to aim in the future. You never know. You never know what could happen. But the players are taking the knee right now as we're just about to get underway. It's got to be all synchronized. There you go. We're off. Mark Jacobs says, Owen, do you have a wrestling show? I do. Owen Wrestle News 365. Be sure to check that out. I'm like a child that's never grown up. United in the different short colour tonight. Usually, of course, it's red and white. It's red shirts, white shorts, but it's not tonight. It's red and red shirts, black shorts, which I prefer. I know it's like not as traditional. I know the traditional is red jerseys, white shorts, but I prefer the red and black. I think it looks much more slicker. But maybe that's just me. Cool says, this lineup is crazy. Ralph's a mad professor. 2-1 United. Well, it's going to be certainly a very curious one. Bailly just whacks it up the pitch. Not a completely sold-out game tonight at Old Trafford, as one would expect. Which shouldn't be the case. Champions League game. Here's Ahmad on the ball. Will get stuck under his feet a little bit. And he's easily dispossessed. I can barely hear the commentary in my ears. How can I tell you who some of the young boys players are if they're not telling me? Wan-Bissaka on the ball. Curious one for Wan-Bissaka, isn't it, tonight? Because one would think, with the way that Dallow's been playing over the last couple of games, that Wan-Bissaka, he might be in a little bit of, I want to say trouble, but I don't know if he's lost his place. Would you say that, you would say that Wan-Bissaka, has he lost his place to Dallow at this point? I think at the weekend, Dallow will start. Certainly if Wan-Bissaka's playing tonight, that's evidence that Dallow will start. And that's, again, absolutely justified. Victor, oh, did you stop being a keeper to wrestle? No. And this is not muscle. Old Trafford singing for... Are they singing? Is it... Ollie's at the wheel, I think they're singing. Is that Ollie's at the wheel or is it Donny van der Beek? I can't really tell. Matic passes to Mata. Mata tries the ball over the top to Elanga. Oh, he's through here. Oh. It's a shot by Ahmad. Ahmad was nearly taken out by Elanga. It's a ball over the top. We're just going to see the replay now. Mata, it's a ball over the top. It's not a particularly good one. But Elanga's going through, and it looks like Elanga's through, and Ahmad takes the ball off of Elanga, nearly takes Elanga out. To be honest with you, if he hadn't have taken the ball off Elanga, arguably Elanga would have been in a better position to get the shot away there, but it wasn't even a particularly good ball over the top by Juan Mata either there, to be honest with you. But they already got split open. And young boys still have something that they're fighting for. Absolutely, they have something that they're fighting for, because I think if they get a win tonight and Villarreal win, can't young boys technically get third, I think? So they could stay in the Europa League. Speaking of young boys, going forward here, Bailly's closing him down. Gets the ball into the box though. Juan Mata's got time. Mata gets dispossessed by the striker. The size difference between Mata and that striker, by the way. Crazy. Paras says, long time no speak. Owen, much love. Appreciate you joining us tonight, Paras. Appreciate everyone joining us tonight here on United View. Like I said, it's a bit of a strange game, isn't it, tonight? So we can have a relaxed one. Oak says, what formation are we using? Just joined. Same as the weekend. It's the 4-2-2-2. Got Matic at centre-back. I'm very surprised by the Matic one, it must be said. I thought that it should have just been Mengi. But I guess otherwise, how does Matic fit into this formation? He doesn't. He doesn't fit into this formation. He's not going to be in those 2 sixes. He's not that kind of defensive midfielder. And those sixes aren't defensive midfielder positions. They're box-to-box or deep-line playmakers. And I suppose Matic can be a deep-line playmaker as such, but not in this system. Wan-Bissaka's going forward here down the right-hand side. Heavy touch, though, gets easily dispossessed. Man United throw him. Well, this is going to be the thing for Wan-Bissaka as well. We saw how advanced the 2 fullbacks were for Manchester United at the weekend, didn't we? Diogo Dalot and Tellers were so far forward, constantly getting crosses into the box. And arguably, that's the worst part of Wan-Bissaka's game. So, can he even... does he even have that in his game to thrive under Rangnick? These are all fascinating questions going forward for Manchester United. There's no doubt about it. Donny van der Beek passed it to Bailly. Bailly with a loose pass to Mata. Young boys on the counter-attack here. Parsons been a little bit sloppy so far for United. Pass, they're in the box here. Sibachu. Martins. Again, that Martins, a big guy. Really, he's a big guy. And boys cross into the box. Headed away by Donny van der Beek. Ball's just bouncing around all over the place here. Trevor says, what's up, Owen? Is that Kenya? Kenya in there? Is that Kenyan flag in the house? Kenya. Oj says, I love Matic centre-back, LOL, because I used to do that on FM 19. Oh, I tell you what, don't get me started about FM. I'm in, it's another sloppy pass. What is going on with these sloppy passes? Let's pass to feet here. This time, Donny passes it behind Mata, gives the ball away again. But yeah, speaking of FM, I'm in a network game at the moment, guys, and it's getting very intense. It's getting very intense, the network game. We're in our 2nd season. We started with conference sides. I won the playoffs in the conference, so I did get promoted. One of the other people I'm playing with came first. They are doing better. You know what the frustrating thing is? So it's 3 of us. And the person who didn't get promoted, because only 2 sides gets promoted in the conference, the 3rd guy who didn't get promoted, halfway through this current season, we're in the 2nd season, he got a job in League One. He's at Plymouth. Unbelievable. How does that even work? Northeast Gaz says, hi mate, what's your thoughts on my team Newcastle wanting Lingard? It's a difficult one, Newcastle. It's a difficult one, Newcastle, in January, because obviously they've got money to spend. There's no doubt about it. And the rumours are that they've offered a contract to Lingard. It's going to make him the highest paid player, not only at the club, but in the club's history. I think Almiron's on the most money, 100k a week. It's going to be way north of that, But any player going to Newcastle right now is going to have to deal with the notion of, we could go down. Am I willing to take that risk? So whether they can get that put into a contract, if we go down, you've got to let me go for a certain price, a relegation release clause, maybe. They got their victory at the weekend, though. It's an interesting one. Lingard, for me, I think he's made his mind up, irrespective of the manager. This was made up mind up before Ollie left, and I don't think that's changed. I think he wants to go back to West Ham. And I think West Ham want him. The issue that West Ham now have is that they are a top 4 rival to Manchester United this season. And the problem is with that, is that United aren't going to actively want to help their rivals this season. But also at the meantime, they've got to, if they want to get money for Lingard, it's now or never, isn't it? So it's a very curious situation there. Good pass by Matic. Speaking of Lingard, there he is. So Alanga, Luke Shaw on the overlap. Is he going to cross the ball in? Oh, what a goal! Well, I didn't know that got in. Mason Greenwood, unbelievable goal. The ball comes in, it's behind him. It's not a bicycle kick by any stretch of the imagination, but the ball is far behind him. He swings a left foot at it, and it goes right in the bottom corner. What a goal! What a goal! Mason Greenwood. I had to do a double take. I couldn't believe that got in. I was like, that got in. It was that much in the corner. Unbelievable goal. Let's have another look at this again. It's a great forward pass by Matic, already breaks the lines. Then Jesse Lingard puts out to Elanga, overlapped by Luke Shaw, which is what he's going to have to do in this formation. He's going to put the cross into the box, puts the ball in the box. It's so far behind Mason Greenwood. That is world class. Look at this again. The ball's the ball, but it's right behind him. Oh, that is unbelievable. Look at this angle here from behind the goal. It's behind him. It's like a half volley in mid-air. I think it maybe glances the post as it comes in. It doesn't glance like a post, but it's right in the corner. That is superb. Oh, my word. Wow. That is such a good goal by Mason Greenwood. 1-0 Manchester United. Less than 10 minutes gone, and that's the reaction we wanted to see in this game. These players that maybe are on the fringes, impress the manager. There's a new manager come in. Clean slate. Here we go. What a goal. What a goal that is. Smash a like on the video if you thought that was a decent goal. Wow, 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 wow. Mason Greenwood. Take a bow. What a start. And in fairness, you know, people will, myself included, were surprised by, well, we'll leave this thought here because young boys are on the attack here. Great tackle by Donny van der Beek. Counter-attack might be on for Manchester United now. Overruns it. But that all starts from the Nemanja Matic forward pass as a centre-back, just already breaks between the lines. And that's the potential, I guess, of having a centre-back that can actually pass the ball, unlike a Harry Maguire. You know, Harry Maguire ain't making that pass. But it just starts off with Matic, immediately, boom, forward pass, splits the play, and you get a goal because of it. I mentioned about the fullbacks having to push on. They're going to have to get crosses into the box. We know Luke Shaw's perfectly comfortable with that. The cross itself wasn't actually that great because it's way behind Greenwood, but that's what Mason Greenwood can do. That is absolutely what Mason Greenwood can do. Generational talent. He is a special, special talent. And I think sometimes we are... not maybe Man United fans, but some fans maybe outside of United, maybe even United fans, who knows. But sometimes I think they're a bit harsh on Greenwood in that he'll have this run of games where he'll be unbelievable for like 3 or 4 games, incredible form, incredible goals. And we go, this Greenwood's going to be really firing this season. And then he drops off because guess what? Was he 21 at this point? Maybe even younger than that. He's still incredibly young. And we go, oh, maybe he's not that good. That's a young player. Oh, it's an unbelievable goal. Look at this finish. It really is world class. There's Ralph. Ralph with the hat on. There was a story. There was a story today, which is a great story, it must be said. Came from Samuel Lucas of the Manchester Evening News. That Ralph Rangnick personally stayed behind at Carrington today to personally one-on-one coach these younger players that were going to be playing tonight, or just maybe even on the bench tonight, of what he expected. Now, some people said, how is that a story? Because he was a manager, that's his job. Managers very often don't run training sessions. They'll oversee, you'll have assistant coaches, you know, whoever running training sessions. No, Rangnick personally, hands-on, said to these young players, okay, this is how I expect you to play. This is how I want you to play going forward. If you get on tonight, this is what I expect of you. Winning a lot of people over. Winning a lot of people over. But just over 12 minutes gone and it's already Manchester United 1, Young Boys 0. Are we actually going to have a Champions League game this season, or group stage game, that isn't completely filled with drama? Mata gives it away again. Mata's passing so far has been absolutely shambolic. But yeah, every Champions League group stage game this season, it's been drama and drama and drama. It's crazy. Anissa says, the genuine difference is in simply knowing the strengths of your players and playing fully to them. Ralph really leaning into that nurturing philosophy. So second half, they just said on commentary, is when we're expecting to see these young players that are on the Manchester United bench come on. And let's face it as well, United, I mean, desperately needed to rotate these players for this match. They absolutely needed to. Because, we had so many games in such a short period of time. I mean, it was even admitted by Ollie at the end of last season, and he didn't follow through on his promise that he ran players into the ground because he didn't rotate enough. Now, this is easy rotation when you're through. I am hesitant also to constantly compare Ranić to Ollie because at this point I just don't think it's fair or worth even discussing. But I don't know if Ollie picks this team tonight. Young boys have the ball in the middle of the park here. Certainly a lot of energy from United to win the ball back. There's no doubt about that. Good atmosphere in Old Trafford, even though it's not completely full this evening. Chris says, to be fair, Mata hasn't seen much game time in 2 years. That is fair. That is fair. Although I'm always a little bit like, and I do get it. I do get it that when they say, well, you haven't had game time, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. It's true, but you are still playing football every day, and like when it's your job, I get it's different, intensity, all that kind of stuff. But it is exciting that there is certainly, absolutely certainly, this just feeling of optimism around United. That I'm speaking just for myself here, but certainly this sense of optimism around United that I haven't felt for a while. Of, and it's different from the optimism we had at the beginning of the season. Because at the beginning of the season, it was kind of maybe a bit of, I don't know, ball into the box, Henderson catches. Maybe a bit of false belief, shall we say, at the beginning of the season of we bought Ronaldo, we bought Varane, we bought Sancho. We should be performing, but there was kind of something in your head that was a little bit like, I hope he can turn it around. I hope he can do it. Now there is this kind of, I guess, belief that, oh man, in a couple of months' time, we could be a force. Wow. The game between Atalanta and Villarreal has been postponed tomorrow because of that heavy snow. Postponed rather tonight because of that heavy snow. They're going to play tomorrow. So our group, in terms of the remaining areas of it, will not be decided this evening. We'll know that Manchester United are going to be top of the group, but everyone else's positions will not be decided until tomorrow. So Champions League game on a Thursday night. Eric Bailly just sent the striker for Young Boys the other way. Steffi says, at least Matic has that calmness that not a lot of our defenders show. I think that is a good point, and it was kind of something that I brought up earlier on, wasn't it? That obviously, if we were playing this super quick team, I would be concerned about Matic. But considering the way we play now under Ranić, we saw it at the weekend. We had 66% possession. If we're going to be controlling games and we're going to have a lot of the ball, you can manage with a slow centre back. Matic begun the move for that goal. Got to give him credit. I again wouldn't recommend Matic playing a centre back, for instance, Saturday against Norwich. He won't anyway. Varane possibly could be back for Saturday. But for a game like tonight, again, a player that is more than comfortable on the ball, why not? Arguably, he's got the exact speed of Harry Maguire as well. The comparison absolutely could be made that Nemanja Matic is Harry Maguire if he could pass. I mean, a possibility, right? Absolutely a possibility. Timmy Adams says, smash a like on the like button, guys. Yep. We've got nearly 300 people watching, so be sure to smash a like on the like button. Only 30 likes away from 200. So if you haven't already, be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. We'll have, after the game, we'll have, of course, Flexes at the stadium. We'll try and get Flex on or KG on at half-time as well. But they're at the stadium, so, of course, they'll be doing the fan views after the game. There won't be a match reaction this evening. It'll just be like a little wrap up here that we'll do for 10 minutes or so, because there isn't much of a need for one this evening. But an enjoyable first, nearly 19 minutes here for Manchester United. Shaw 1-2 with Elanga. Donny van der Beek sprays the ball to Wan-Bissaka. Of course, Cage is in the stadium watching his beloved, was it Wamby? Wamby. Free kick to Manchester United. Ahmad was fouled. Quick free kick. Wan-Bissaka crosses the ball in. Headed away. It's going to go out for a Manchester United corner. Making the world a better place. What a name that is. Says, Ollie, what the difference? You can't know a player's full potential if they're not given a chance. I don't, like I said, my sort of feelings on the whole Ollie thing at this point is that, he's gone now. He's still a legend of the club. He will always be a legend of the club. I think cross into the box, caught by the young boys goalkeeper. I think even after one game, and I know it's one game, and it's very quick to judge and all that kind of stuff. It's very quick to judge all that kind of stuff. You already feel like an improvement. Sufan says, is KG at the stadium? I thought he was going into like an award show or something. He might be. I don't know. He might be. I just know he couldn't do the match for you tonight, and I assumed he was going to be at the game. I don't know. Of course, Dean Henderson in goals tonight. Somewhere Jack is screaming for delight. I think Jack's at the game actually as well tonight, so he's going to be there, tears in his eyes. They talk about Robbie Savage getting emotional if his son comes on. Jack got emotional when he just saw the team sheet came out. He went, oh, my boy. Speaking of Henderson, sprints off his line to clear the ball there. Well done. Good starting position from the keeper. There's a free ball by young boys, but Henderson was quick off his line to put it into touch. But young boys have a bit of the ball here. Manchester United backing off slightly. Certainly not an intense press like we saw. United look to be quite comfortable in a defensive position here. But it's given away. Mata, Greenwood. Passes it slightly behind Ahmad. Van der Beek, just a couple of 3-touch passes there. Juan Mata threads it through just to Jesse Lingard. Luke Shaw down the left-hand side. 1-2 looks like to be with Elanga. Play just goes right through the back of him. That's got to be a free kick. I don't know about that. It was a good pass by Juan Mata, though. Just through the eye of the needle. Matic tackles the young boys player, goes out for a throw-in. How does it all feel? How does it all feel though, guys? And watching this Champions League game, not a lot of pressure, obviously. But even though there's not a lot of pressure, I think previously when we had games that there weren't pressure, we tended to lose them. Like if we were through, or it's like, no, the game doesn't matter, we tended to lose. But it's almost like the ideal time for these players for this kind of game to come around, isn't it? Because not only are they getting the opportunity, but they know because it's a fresh start that if they do play well, there could be a chance for them going forward. Obviously, someone like Elanga's obviously impressed Ranić because he came on at the weekend. If I was Elanga, I'd be thinking, man, if I play well tonight, if I get a couple of goals, there's a chance I could play at the weekend. There's a chance I could play in the following week because he's obviously made an impression. Talk about Donny van der Beek, who I think then just takes the ball down lovely, passes it to Luke Shaw. He knows as well, I put in a good performance tonight. Absolutely 100% there's a chance I could play at the weekend. Because things have kind of changed. Paras says, it feels so chill, Owen, laying back and enjoying the game from India, 1:55 a.m. I tell you what, I always, I can never... No, actually, in fact, I do appreciate... We were talking about wrestling earlier. I do appreciate the struggle when it comes to stuff like that. Like, obviously, being like a wrestling fan based in the UK, if you want to watch anything in America, you're always up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. to watch it. And I guess it's the same for foreign football fans, right? So in India, like you said, right now, it's nearly 2 a.m. But either way, it's dedication. Nobody can question. That's what kind of frustrates me sometimes, when you'll be doing streams or whatever, and people go, I can barely hear your Mancunian accent. And it's like, it doesn't matter where you're from, how you support Manchester United. Some of the biggest supporters of Manchester United aren't even from the UK. They're in places like India, Australia, South Africa, China, Malaysia. I mean, the list goes on. Africa, just the entire continent of Africa. There's so many football fans. Right? When they had the World Cup in South Africa in 2010, the whole, not even just the country of South Africa, the whole continent of Africa went crazy for it because they're huge football fans. So nobody has the right to tell anyone that they're not allowed to support Manchester United because they're not from Manchester or they're not from that country or anything like that. It's bizarre, absolutely bizarre. And like you said, nearly 2 a.m. in the morning, you're watching Manchester United. That's dedication. Brilliant ball by Juan Mata to Jesse Lingard. It was a switch, lays it back. Referee gets in the way. Jesus, referee, and he couldn't put the ball in the box. Get out of the way. In fairness to Luke Shaw, he does look like a traffic light. He's wearing luminescent yellow, but still, get out of the way. It was a great pass by Juan Mata. I understand it's the referee's job to ball watch, but you have to kind of be aware of your surroundings. There, Adam says, Australia, 7:30 a.m, the grind is real. Oh, I tell you, I watched, last night I thought I'll stay up to watch a bit of the Ashes. Because I think the coverage started at 11. I thought, I'll get a bit excited, get a bit into it, all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'll watch it. I'll watch maybe half an hour of it. I watched the first ball, and they were and then the England player the first ball, golden duck, wicket, and I went, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. Oh, it was terrible. And England were terrible. Wow. Free kick to Manchester United. Juan Mata. About 25 yards out, nearly exactly on the line for the 25 yards, actually. I guess he's going to go for a shot. Mata, it's as good as Cristiano Ronaldo, right over the bar. Richie Bison is in Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States. Times are quite decent, 5 hours behind the UK. Games like this are pretty decent, aren't they? It's because that's 3 p.m. 3 p.m. kickoff in the United States is pretty good. It's the early games, isn't it? Those early ones, like the 12:30 kickoffs, they can be quite tough, can't they? But they were made primarily for the Asian market, things like China and stuff like that. So, I think to make anyone easier to access or watch football, it can only be a good thing as long as it's reasonable. Ivano says Barca will be playing Thursday night football. That's a point, actually. What's the score in the Barcelona game? They have to win, but also do they have to win? Ball there. Henderson's come out again and he fell over. Kicks it up the pitch. Is he back at his goal? He's back at his goal now. Erbischer hits it from about 25 yards out. Henderson holds on to it. Good hands. What is the Barca one? What is the Barca one? I know they have to. They have to win, and do they have to also results go their way? Otherwise, they're in the Europa League, or is it a case of they just have to win? If they win, they'll be through. Drop kick by Henderson right at the other end of the pitch. You don't often see that. Oof. Nearly went to Elanga there. Not bad. Victor says Barcelona are drawing 0-0. I know they need to win, but I wasn't sure if it was they need to win and... Right, Benfica leads and Barca must win against Munich. I mean, the collapse of Barcelona is just astonishing, isn't it? It really is astonishing. It does make you wonder, though, doesn't it, the whole Barcelona thing? Because obviously, the finances and all that kind of stuff. And, it was to get Messi registered. They would tell players to take pay cuts, and they didn't take them in the end. And people started to take pay cuts to get the new signings registered and all that kind of stuff. Certain players, Dani Alves has come back. He's playing for a Euro. To be like, I just want to play and help the side. I'm not suggesting that Messi will come back and do that, because to ask Donny van der Beek, that was firm. Why? He's giving the free kick to them. How? How is he giving that to them? Gamalu came into him. He's just the one rolling around on the floor. How is that a foul to young boys? Outrageous. See the replay. You'll see. You'll see. Look, do it. Roll it back. He comes flying into Donny. It's 50-50. What a load of bollocks. A load of rubbish. It's a 50-50 ball. They both go for it. It's contact sport. Never mind, Donny. Get stuck in. I was going to say show a bit of passion and desire, but let's not. Chris Metcalf says Henderson loves it. Tony says Barca kind of in the mud right now. Kinda. I'm telling you. They're well in the mud. But people that are in the Europa League will not want Barcelona to come into the Europa League because they're still Barcelona. Arsenal would be where... Oh, wait, Arsenal aren't in European competition this season. Ball put into the box. Headed away by Greenwood. It was clear, but not too far. Headed away by Eric Bailly. Good header as well. Eric Bailly should be one of the starting centre-backs for me when Raphael Varane is fit. It should be Varane and Bailly. Or Varane and Lindelof, because Lindelof has been playing well recently. Especially how Ralph wants to play. Great switch there. It's a 2-on-1. You've got to put it to him. It's Jesse. It's Ahmad. Just puts it back. Oh. Made right a pig's ear of that. What a mess. Should have been 2-0. They find themselves through on goal. Oh my goodness. Eric Bailly, they've just flown into a tackle there. Jeez. Flies in. Ahmad needed to be more ruthless there. He cut back on his right foot, then realised he wasn't that confident, tried to square it, and didn't go to him. Now, young boys have a chance. Eric Bailly is just doing tricks. It's like he's playing FIFA Street at the moment. This is ridiculous. Eric Bailly's flying into tackles, flicking the ball up on his foot in the middle of the box. I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm also like, this still is a Champions League group stage game. Let's calm down. Ball cleared by Donny van der Beek. Oh. I mean, we've seen some good passes, but we have seen some really sloppy passes. Wan-Bissaka is miles out of position, by the way. Cuts the ball back. Hit at Henderson, who parries it away. And again, edge of the box, dispossessed by Lingard. Ahmad again. Ahmad's touch might need a bit of work there. There's a couple of touches by United tonight. First touch has just been a bit off. I mean, we have seen some good football at times, but some of the... get up, Wan-Bissaka. Just jogging out there. Bit of tempo in this one. So we're going to see this replay of what happened with the Ahmad chance. So Greenwood switch. It's terrible defended by young boys. Lingard passes it to Ahmad. Ahmad's one-on-one with the defender and the goalkeeper. Cuts back and then passes it to Lingard, but it's miles ahead of him. And he just makes a massive mess of it. You just got to be more confident. You know, don't cut back. Just put your left foot through it. But some good passes, some good through balls by United. It's going to be a bit of a mixture, hasn't it? Bailly is on one tonight. But the problem is, this is how Eric Bailly gets injured. Like, we appreciate him flying into tackles, but then it'll be like, Eric Bailly's pulled a groin. I wonder why. He just drop-kicked a young boys player. But, I mean, you hope you wouldn't do that against, like, you know, in a top match. Ball one back here. Greenwood. He's going to cut it back. Juan Mata. It's good. It's a great save by the goalkeeper. Should have been a goal. Well played by Mason Greenwood. Initiates the press, wins the ball back, cuts it back to Mata. Mata strikes. I think it goes off a defender onto the goalkeeper. I'll have a look here. Cuts it back. It does. I think it comes off a defender onto the goalkeeper. 2 deflections. Good defending and good goalkeeping. Great by Mason Greenwood, though, once again. Wins it, cuts it back. Mata should maybe do a bit better. Short corner. Ooh, Shaw left a bit in on that player there. Is he not going to go back for it? Referee. Certainly far more chances there by Man United. We should be about 3-0 up at this point, right? Which, again, is positive to see. Absolutely positive to see. It's still Manchester United 1, Young Boys 0. 34 minutes gone. Should be 3, though. Haven't dominated possession, though, surprisingly. 51% possession. I thought it would be higher than that. It feels like it's been a bit higher than that. But I think the issue is like I said, is sometimes on the ball tonight, our passing has been a little bit sloppy. Not enough to feet. A little bit behind people. Now, you could argue that that's possibly due to Wan-Bissaka just gives the ball away and now he's got to track back. You could argue maybe that's, match fitness, maybe. I don't know. Too eager to impress. Contribution from C. Appreciate that, C. I mean, it is C. Look, C, and then the logo is C. Appreciate the contribution. It says, why are you wearing such an old jersey? Because it's a nice jersey. It's a nice jersey. I've got plenty of the old jersey, and it's a Champions League one. Champions League 1, 2007 to 2008. It was the year we got to the semi-final, I believe. We went out in the semi-final against AC Milan. We won 3-2 in the opening leg at Old Trafford, but we lost at the San Siro. And this is when we won the league for the first time in 3 years. Or 2006, 2007, actually, as well. It's 2006, 2007, that's it. And it's a nice shirt. And you can never win, of course, because you wear a shirt like this, and you'll say, why are you wearing an old shirt? And then if you wear the modern one, or this year's one, you'll be like, you're funding the Glazers, money in their pocket. You can never win. Adam says, banger of a jersey, my first Man United jersey. I have just a bag full of them that I try and I went through a phase on the channel of trying to wear different ones each time. Some just don't fit me anymore. There's a really nice goalkeeper one that I do want to wear, but at the moment, guys, it ain't fitting. I'm telling you now. It's the one that the last season we won the league, when we had that it was like a quilt jersey, but it was the keeper one, so it was green. I really liked that shirt. I was quite divisive, that one. It looked like a picnic blanket. It's a shot. Oof. Awkward for Dean Henderson. Makes a save, though. Victor says, Barcelona and Dortmund are in the Europa League. Where did Dortmund finish in their group? They got peppered by Ajax twice, didn't they? Man United going forward here. The Devil's Advocate says, Dalot starts for me, always been a defender, pardon the pun, of Wan-Bissaka, but he isn't a modern fullback, offers virtually nothing going forward and lacks composure and confidence on the ball. Again, I think he has to start at the weekend, Dalot, to be honest with you. I haven't seen anything from Wan-Bissaka this evening that makes me go, okay, right, he should go straight back in. Considering certainly in this formation there is a much bigger emphasis on going forward from the fullbacks. I'm just not seeing that from Wan-Bissaka in this game. He's going forward, but he's sometimes clumsy on the ball. His touch is off. We know about his ability to get balls into the box is a struggle, which is ironic because before we played Chelsea, we look back to when was it, 2019? He crossed the ball in for Martial. Where did I get Zidane from? For Martial. And it was a great cross. But certainly, with the performances that Dalot's been doing recently in the last few games, and then you compare him to what we've seen by Wan-Bissaka tonight, there is certainly a difference. But, Wan-Bissaka had a hand injury, and a lot can change. We're only, nearly 40 minutes into the game. And both full play this season, the modern-day fullback, you need at least two because of just the rotation, especially in this formation, the high energy and the demands of the player, Wan-Bissaka will play. I just think he's got major competition right now. And right now, I think it's Dallow's shirt. I really do. Paras says, Alanga and Ahmad look nervous, losing the ball a lot in attack. Eager to impress, I think, don't they? They look eager to impress. Long ball again. Short. Cuts back inside. Oh, goes to cut it back to Alanga. They're appealing for handball, though. Some of the players in the crowd wanted that. A ball over the top here. Down Manchester United's right-hand side by Young Boys. Apparently, it is a penalty check taking place. So we'll know in a second. But a lot of United's opportunities have come from long balls this evening, haven't they? Just balls over the top. We can talk about Ranić ball and high pressing and all this kind of stuff, but it's been balls over the top, really, hasn't it? Young Boys on the attack. Plenty of room, edge of the box. Has a shot. Took a deflection from Van der Beek. Van der Beek does well to close him down. We're going to see this come back. It does hit his arm. I don't think it is. The hand's by his side. It does hit his arm. Last season that would have been a penalty. This season, no. It hits his arm, but what's he supposed to do with that? And he doesn't move his arm towards it or anything like that. So correct decision by the referee. Got a corner to Young Boys. 5 minutes left of the first half. Ball put in. Henderson punches away. Young Boys still have the ball though. Got to put the ball back in. Headed away once again, this time by Greenwood. And Ahmad tried to win the ball back. Didn't make it. Young Boys still have possession. Every single Manchester United player in their half right now. We're parking the bus. Young Boys. I mean, I guess this is why the possession's been nearly 50-50. We definitely haven't dominated possession anything. Timmy Adams says, I would love to see Mata retire and join the coaching staff. He is a student of the game. I mean, you have to be careful, I suppose, with people retiring and joining the coaching staff, considering recent circumstances. But Juan Mata, I think, is one of those players that you do get the impression would be a good coach. Because of his technical side of the game, the way he talks about the game. But when it comes to United, when it comes to say Michael Carrick, when it comes to Carrick, or even the same one like Giggs, when he transitions straight into the coaching staff, for me, I don't know if you necessarily should transition straight into a coach for the first team. Now, if you retire and then go, okay, I'm going to become an under-23s coach, do that. Or giving the ball away edge of the box, has a shot. Oh my goodness, what a goal that is. It's 1-1. Wow, what a goal by Young Boys. I mean, he picks up the top corner. I'm going to have to see that back. But it's 1-1 at Old Trafford. It's an unbelievable goal. The first goal conceded under Ralf Rangnick. I think it's Van der Beek who gives away the ball. So Matic passes it to Van der Beek. He goes for a flick to Wan-Bissaka, shorts it, and it just goes right in the top corner. It's sloppy from Donny. It's sloppy from Donny. It's sloppy from Wan-Bissaka as well. But majorly from Donny, gives the ball away and absolutely pings it right into the top corner. Henderson with no chance whatsoever. But it's 1-1 at Old Trafford. And those that aren't fans of Donny van der Beek will point to that. You know they will. But it's 1-1. United got to get another goal. I mean, you certainly sympathise, I should say, for Henderson. He hasn't done a lot wrong, and he's still conceded the goal because he's just been smashed into the top corner. But I did mention that earlier on. Not that again. I saw it coming. I'm Darren Brown. A couple of passes by United have been sloppy in this game. Whether it's Mata and Donny have both done good passes, but they've also done some sloppy passes as well, and it's the same there. That's why the possession's 50-50. We have given the ball away quite a bit. Quite a few sloppy passes in the first half. And again, I don't know if that's rustiness. I don't know if that's eagerness to impress the manager because they've got this opportunity. The frustrating thing is, of course, as well, that Manchester United should be 3-1 up. We've spurned 2 really big chances. Obviously, Ahmad had it when he was through on goal, tried to cut it back, didn't work. The other one was Mata, and it was deflected over the bar. So that's what happens if you don't take your chances. Again, in Champions League football, don't take your chances, you will get punished. We know that from before. So it looks like we're going to be going into half-time level. I wouldn't say it's totally deserved from Young Boys. Matic gives the ball away again there. And here we go. We might be in a bit of trouble here. Young Boys run in. You've got to close him down. Matic cuts it back. Bailly blocks. Miss kick. Oh, what a block that is. Eric Bailly. Oh, I thought I was going to get in. What happened there? I don't know how it hasn't gone in. So Matic gives the ball away. Really sloppy here. He keeps backing off. In fairness, it's decent. It's what you would want to do. Blocked by Bailly. Miss kicked by the other player. Volley across goal. And Bailly just manages to get a block. I don't know if it's going in. He doesn't know that. But he deflects it out. Again, I think Bailly's had a good game. A really good game. Some good tackles, good blocks. But it's half-time. Manchester United 1, Young Boys 1. What do we make of that? Bit of a strange end to that half. I wouldn't say United overly dominated. I'd say we have more chances. Didn't dominate the ball. At points maybe a bit sloppy in possession. A great goal by Mason Greenwood. The 2 goals we've seen in the game by Greenwood and then Ryder there. But it's 1-1 at half-time. Mohammed says, I don't like attacking specific players, but Wan-Bissaka and Jesse have had such sloppy plays in this half. Who do you say then has impressed you in that half, and who would you say you look at and you go, they probably need to do better? It is a curious one. Let's I just see that advert for the Ashes again. I don't know if you saw as well, BT Sport got a lot of stick about the coverage for the Ashes. It's not great. It's not great. Half time though at Old Trafford. Let's see if every time I try and call people when I do the match view, it never works out well for me. But we'll try flex. We'll see what happens. Remember as well, this is Old Trafford settings. So we'll see. There you go. Got it up. It's almost like I prepared it. Let's see if he'll pick up. It's ringing. Yo, what did you think of that?
Yeah, 4-1, 4-1-2-3. So he's gone with a 2H and Donny just sitting. And it's not really great for Donny there right at the end, is it? Giving the ball away.
Yeah.
Guy sticks in the top corner. But I think on the whole, we've just seen that they're youngsters. They're going to be raw. A lot of them, decision making not quite there. But Mason, fantastic goal. Other bits of his game showing the naivety. Just before we conceded, there was a period where we just couldn't hold the ball. We just couldn't keep the ball.
Yeah.
And Mason just had a couple of chances to get it under control. Ahmad. So just little bits of naivety. I'm not mad at that. It hasn't been as intense.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily a game where I looked at that and went, "Oh, we're playing terrible" or anything like that. It's not like that. There is energy there. The goal by Greenwood's unbelievable. It's
fantastic.
It's an unbelievable goal. But I agree with you. I mentioned it a couple of times. It's just for instance, Donny and Mata have been doing good passes going forward, but on the flip side, they have been sloppy as well at the same time.
Exactly. Mata hasn't kicked the ball in God knows how long. Jesse's rusty. Donny never gets a start. He's done some really good bits and some not so good bits. He's been part of the sloppy nature that a lot of the midfield has been. Jesse's been sloppy. Ahmad's been a bit sloppy. Elanga, guys, right in on him. Men now, it's not kids football. So there's Tom Heaton coming out to warm up as well. So I think maybe he will come on. I was reading that he might come on around the 60th minute. Is that Tom Heaton? Who is that?
I think it's Heaton, yeah.
From it.
Yeah.
No, it's not him.
No?
No, it's not. Is it Tommy Ian? I can't see it from here. I'm not used to seeing Tommy Ian, so I don't really know what it is like.
Yeah.
But no, there wasn't. Ralph always talks about control. There was some moments of control, like when we got 1-0 up, I was like, Dean Henderson hasn't really had anything to do. We're mopping up nicely, but then that little bit of control, it's Tommy Ian. That little bit of control started to dwindle, and then we couldn't keep the ball. We just got really sloppy, and the tempo went out of the game. So I think Ralph will get him back in and say, listen, we need to be more aggressive, and we need to look after the ball better, because we just let that slip away from us.
Yeah, what do you think about Wan-Bissaka in that first half? Because obviously it's a big...
Do you want me to answer?
Well, this is the thing. Because I think I've probably got the same opinion as you, because I was saying in the stream, like, for someone that's coming in knowing that I've got to play well, otherwise I'm not going to play at the weekend, and I think Dallow's going to play anyway, some of his touches, Flex, and some of his positional play, I'm in the fan views last time, and it was, he's finished at Man United, and I was like, maybe that's a bit too harsh. But I'm looking at some of the performances, there we go, that's gone. Old Trafford settings. We're never going to know. We're never going to know Flex's opinion about Wan-Bissaka. Jesus. Andy Pratt says Ahmad has been wasteful. Yeah, but also he hasn't played and he's come off a long-term injury. So I think, and again, I think he's eager to impress. Flex says, JK said Flex better ring back. Oh yeah, 100%. But look, I'm not gonna criticize, and I'm not disappointed or anything like that. I think at points we've played okay, but it does kind of come across as a bit of rustiness, all that kind of stuff. There you go, it's ringing back. I thought you did a KG on me.
I'm on the 4G, so I just flicked the phone onto the 3G.
All right.
And managed to get through to you, actually, so that's pretty good. Sorry, I missed what you said about Wan-Bissaka. What did you say?
I was just saying that, if for someone that is fighting for his spot, shall we say, to make sure, because Dallow's been playing so well, and we saw what Dallow can do in this system. I get it's against young boys and all this kind of stuff, and it's a different game, blah, blah, blah. But I'm seeing a couple of his touches. I'm seeing his positional play. I'm seeing his overrunning the ball going forward. Yeah. 100%. I just don't know how he's going to fit.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side to me, so it's hard to see. But I can still see some of the mistakes he's made. Little things like I saw one time. I think you just touched on it there. He was galloping with the ball, and then he takes a touch that's too heavy, and then the defender clears it or comes across and makes an interception because, again, it's just a baggy touch.
Yeah.
A couple of times making poor passes in field. He just doesn't receive the ball well. He just doesn't play well with the ball at his feet. And I just think in this new system, what Ranieri's going to want to play, he's going to want to see that from players. I'm open. Listen, I don't want to write any player off. I want every player who comes here to excel and be the top player that they can be. And I want to see Wan-Bissaka improve. But I've said it so many times. It's not an agenda. I like Wan-Bissaka. I really want him to do well, but I just don't see that part of his game being able to be taught. Because I just think the thing that's wrong with his game, it's just the fundamentals.
Yeah, I think it's technique. It's technique.
His touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously some of the stuff can be improved. His positioning and knowing when to go and when not to go and stuff like that can be worked on. But I think the problem that he's got is fundamentally as a technically sound footballer. That's not something he excels at. I don't know how you teach that. I really don't.
No, what I think also concerns me a bit as well is that, and you kind of see it on the goal. And I'm not going to put the blame on Wan-Bissaka for the goal because Donny gives it away. But
Donny gives it away.
But he also has this thing, Wan-Bissaka, in that when he does go forward, it's not about maybe he doesn't track back well enough or good enough, but sometimes he can get caught out of position. He gets caught out of position a lot. We're just seeing a replay here, and he's kind of like jogging back. Donny's covering from him, but he's jogging back. And he gets caught with that a lot. And I just think in this kind of system, it just ain't going to work. That just is not going to work. Especially, we've seen it with Tellez and Dallow in the last couple of games. The emphasis is, right, give the balls to the fullbacks. They're going forward and they're getting crosses into the box. If that's what you want the fullbacks to do, Wan-Bissaka, again, that's why I think it's going to be a struggle.
It's a struggle, yeah. And Luke Shaw, as a footballer, obviously, is better than Wan-Bissaka. So you're looking at it and saying, okay, Luke Shaw, you've got a job on your hands to get your spot back. There's probably more in Luke Shaw having a case to get his spot back. And I'm not saying Tellez should be dropped from what Luke Shaw's done in the first half, but I'm saying in the battle to win their spots back, I would back Luke Shaw to get it back over Wan-Bissaka.
Oh yeah, because Luke Shaw can do that role.
Luke Shaw, really good cross as well.
Yeah.
For Mason's goal, really good hold up play by Elanga. Well, just a sensible decision to just sit on it and wait for the run.
Yeah.
And a really well worked goal. And just moving on to Mason, I just think that he's got the stardust. He can finish anything. Unbelievable finish. There's other bits of his game that he is going to be naive in terms of how to get hold of it, how to look after it, how to play with your back to goal. These are all things that he needs to learn. Can't expect him to be the complete, well-oiled machine, the complete, finished article.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very early in his career, but I thought in that half was a good snapshot of where Mason's at. Fantastic goal scored. He wins the ball back off their right back, I think it was, or right midfielder. Skips past him and steps. Who did he set? Was it Mata?
Mata, yeah.
And then the keeper saved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good work. So he's got that rawness and that energy, but then there was a moment in the game where you want your centre forward to just get hold of it, relieve some of the pressure as that focal point, and he couldn't quite do it. So that's not criticism. That's just looking at one bit of his game that if he wants to play up front week in, week out, he's going to work on. But he's so young. For how good he is.
And that's the thing, isn't it?
Exceptional.
That's the thing. And I think that's the thing that I mentioned it on the stream, that we have this weird thing with Mason, isn't it? That he'll get a couple of games, he'll get a couple of goals, and we go, tell you what, Mason's on fire this season. And then he drops off, but he's going to drop off because he's so young. And then he drops off, and then kind of the criticism is, well, he's inconsistent. But if that's the biggest criticism of a young player, is that he's inconsistent and everything else is not too bad, then I'll take that.
There you go. And it's not even not too bad. If all the other things are really exceptional, the way he strikes the ball, the way he can finish with both feet, his conversion rate, the way he can skip past players and go left and right. Those are all things that, you usually can't coach. You can coach, trusting in yourself and learning things so you can do things on a more consistent level. And it comes with experience. It comes with just keep playing season by season, keep ticking them off as a Manchester United senior player, get to 100 appearances, get to 200 appearances. It comes with games. As simple as that. Yeah,
100%. And I think also as well in this system going forward, playing in a 2 will benefit him as well. Massively benefit him playing in the 2.
How surprised was you to see Ralph not go with the same 4-2-2 then? Because it is a 4-1, it is a 4-1-2-3 with the wingers in Elanga and Ahmad and Mason through the middle, and then Jesse and Mata as the 2-8. Kind of what we were screaming out for with Ollie, wasn't it? Which is one sit-in and put 2-8s in there. A lot of the time we used to ask for Pogba and Bruno or Bruno and Donny ahead of it, and then put maybe one of Fred sitting or Matic sitting.
Yeah.
We asked for that quite a lot. And it's interesting that, I think Ralph has kind of showed that that's one of the things he could look to, maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe as well, he's probably selected that formation. His ideal formation is the 4-2-2, but looking at the players he picked, I don't think it's possible to do a 4-2-2 with that starting 11. Because I was looking at it before, I was like, what, you're telling me that Matt is going to be it's going to be Mata and Donny in the McFred role in 2 6s. That just ain't going to work.
I thought it would be Matic straight away, and then I thought, hang on a minute, there's only one other defender.
Yeah.
Centre half, and Matic must be playing centre half. Once I worked that out, I was like, okay, it's definitely not going to be the 4-2-2. Yeah. Maybe with the options available to him, he obviously wanted to leave all of the first team out.
Yeah.
Completely. So I mean, on the bench, it's all absolute youngsters, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But in terms of changing this game, you don't really want to, look to them to come on and have to change the game.
No, not at 45 minutes either. Not at 45 minutes. I think it might be.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, it'd be like 60, 65 minutes, something like that. In fairness, though, you mentioned about Mata Matic as the centre back, and that was certainly an eyebrow raiser coming into the match. But he starts off that first goal, forward pass.
Yeah. Mata as well, a couple of switches in play that are really good. There was a ball from Ahmad who switched it to Luke Shaw. Fantastic. A little bit. And Matic gave one away at the end of the half there, which looked really bad when he punched it into midfield and gave it away straight away. But actually 4 or 5 times, he's punched that ball through the lines into the feet of Jesse Lingard or Elanga so they can get turned and make things happen. So, he's been impressive.
Yeah, Bai's been impressive, but he is on one tonight as well. Have you seen some of the stuff he's been doing?
He's loving it, absolutely loving it. We were saying today, I was saying to the guy next to me, I was like, Bai effing loves it.
Oh, 100%. One of the tackles, one of the tackles he went into was so flew into it.
Erratic.
Oh my God, which is great, and you do watch it and you go, it's amazing. Eric Bai's up for it today. But then you also go, you can't then watch something like that and go, I wonder why he gets injured all the time.
Exactly.
Like he's trying to drop kick players in the final game of the Champions League.
Yeah, I know. And then he done that little shimmy where he just absolutely sent the player packing.
Yeah, one of them, to clear the ball in the box, he just flicks it up on his foot, kicks it away.
Yeah, and then cleared it,
Yeah.
And all the crowd, even in here, they were all cheering at that and stuff. And it's all fun and games when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, he knows there's not a lot on it.
Top level. He can't be messing about, but he's enjoying his football. He always does, doesn't he? He always enjoys his football. 100%.
I think, before we wrap it up, it's interesting when it comes to Ahmad and Alanga, because the general consensus in the chat has been that they're just slightly over-eager to impress, which is probably why the touch is a bit off.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. A little bit of lightweightness, not being ready for the real physical natures of the challenges. Ahmad clean through, he's got to trust himself to put his left foot through.
That's what I said. That is nervousness, isn't it? Cut back or I'll square it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, these players, they don't play. They don't play 70,000 here at Old Trafford, or less than that today, actually. It's not a full house. But, it's at home. The pressure's still on these kids. It's refreshing just to see them play. And I'm almost under the thing of they're going to make mistakes. Hopefully, actually, Ralph getting them in there, it'll be good to see what sort of reaction they can get in terms of looking after the ball a bit better. Donny won't need telling. There's certain players that won't need telling, but some of the younger ones, they will. So hopefully they can tighten it up a little bit, because I think for the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, and then up into the goal and after the goal, there were elements of control there, and then we started to let that slip through sloppiness.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And I think the possession stats reflect that. It's about 50-50 when it comes to possession.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's about 50-50. But it doesn't feel like that, because it was the same. Because when it came up on the screen, I had the same. I went, 50-50. But I think that represents, it represents just, we've had a lot of the ball. We keep sloppy passes. That's the thing. It's just sloppy passes. But
in a couple of instances, we've won it back high up as well, which is good to see.
Exactly, yeah. Mason's been doing that as well. So, look, it's an interesting one, and it's going to be interesting to see which youngsters come on in the second half, certainly. Before we let you go, what's your prediction second half?
I went with a 3-0, which is obviously gone now. I should stay away from predictions.
Yeah.
I'm going to back us to nick it. 2-1. I'll back us to nick it.
2-1. I think if we get a goal, it could get quite comfortable, I think. Because we had chances. It should be 3-1 already, let's be honest. We have 3 chances.
With the chances that we've had, exactly. Matt has one saved, and Ahmad should do better with that. That's 3 golden opportunities there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, their goal where Donny gives it away, it's an absolutely fantastic strike.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And you can appreciate it when you're through. You go, it's a great goal.
Yeah, a couple of people were clapping in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so there you go. So hopefully we'll see. I just want to see us keep the ball a bit better.
Yeah.
A lot better, actually.
Yeah.
I just want to cut that sloppiness out.
Yeah.
And give us the platform to go play.
100%. Right, the players back out on the pitch. Flex.
Back out, about kick-off.
Yeah, exactly. Right, speak to you in a bit.
All right.
Bye. Flex, of course, will be back. That went actually surprisingly well, didn't it? That went surprisingly well. I saw Zayn Miasi's in here. I'm not sure what he's screaming like goal about. Are you screaming goal about the young boys' goal? It's great, isn't it, to be in Europe. Oh, you wouldn't know, Zayn. You wouldn't know. Well, at least it's great to be winning games. Oh, you wouldn't know that as well. Wow, it's great to be winning at Old Trafford. Oh, wait, you wouldn't know that either. Do I mention Goodison Park, Richarlison? I mean, the ammunition we have here, Zayn, is unbelievable. I mean, it really is unbelievable. I forgot to start the timer. Let me start. I was too engrossed in what Zayn Miasi was saying. See, Zayn, you got me. Get that going in a second. There you go. Yeah, you got me, Zayn. You got me. I did see another super chat. I didn't ignore it. Alanga. Oh, keeper tips it. Nearly went back to, is that Lingard? I thought I did see another super chat. There you go. From Giovanni says, Wan-Bissaka equals R-Truth tracing the 24/7 championship. It's a wrestling reference, but a very good one. I appreciate it. Adam says, Zayn universally bantered over United channels. Well, you've got to, ain't you? You've got to. But we're underway second half. I don't think any changes have been made. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner as well. Only 30 likes away from 300, so if you haven't already, be sure to smash a like and subscribe. VK, says, Zane is 100%. We played like Arsenal this first half. Well, it wouldn't be that harsh. Ralph making his way out. Nearly missed the goal. Oh, well, missed the chance, rather, not a goal. I wish it was a goal. But it's 1-1. How are you all feeling? What's your prediction second half? Oh, I always hate that. I hate that when you've got like this and the powder sticks to the top and you open it, poofs off in your face. Ridiculous. David Lee say 3-1 win. David Lee, of course. Big up moderators. Here comes Ahmad running forward with it. Jesse Lingard. Lingard's in the box. Standing up the player, cuts it back. Luke Shaw, cross in. Oh, was behind Ahmad. He went for a similar kind of finish that Mason did, but didn't connect with the ball. A99, it's a 6-6 goal thriller. Ha-ha. I mean, if I could do like a Joker laugh, I would there, but I cannot. Elliot McShine says, it's been okay, 2 or 3-1 win. I don't really do predictions, you know me, because my predictions are just terrible, and I always say I never know. But like I said to Flex, I do think we'll win the game. I do think if we get a goal, I think more will come. Because let's face it, young boys, they didn't really have any major chances first half. All their shots were from far out. Their goal was an incredible goal. We had chances. We didn't take them. Whether it's the Ahmad chance, whether it's, the cut back to Mata. So I suspect we will get more. It'll be interesting to see, like I said, these younger players when they come on, what they can do. Pass by Van der Beek. Greenwood tried to flick it to Lingard. Didn't work out. Oh, Manchester United just about deal with that one. Wan-Bissaka travelling forward. I think it's big 45 for Wan-Bissaka. And it's interesting, the Wan-Bissaka debate. It's a great tackle by the young boys player there. It's an interesting point about Wan-Bissaka because a lot of people say, where has this Wan-Bissaka criticism come from? And I don't think it's come from anywhere. I think the criticism of Wan-Bissaka was always there, was about his... Martin's still going forward here with young boys. We'll have to come back to this Wan-Bissaka point. Sibachu turns and shoots. Oof, over the bar. With the Wan-Bissaka thing, people go, where's this criticism come from? I think it's always been there. The Wan-Bissaka criticism has always been there. The criticisms of him has been, going forward, not particularly good. Crossing, first touch, passing. In the old system, that's fine. When the fullbacks, almost only function was to defend. There wasn't this emphasis on going forward. Now... Arguably, much more of the expectation of the fullback is to be going forward, to be contributing to the offensive play. And that's where you go, well, with his qualities, and that we've spoken about before, he's going to struggle to fit in because of that. Again, my hope is in the second half is that United just show a bit more quality on the ball. I think the passing has been suspect. At points, we've seen some good passes, but other times it's been a bit off. Long ball. Switch the ball to Lafort. Oh, Lizzie cuts back. Blocked there by Eric Bailly. Bailly's had a great game. Really has. I mentioned this before. This is about these players having an opportunity to really establish themselves in the Manchester United starting 11. And if they don't do it, then they only have themselves to blame. Mata passes it to Elanga. Elanga, that centre back. It's like the second time he's gone through Elanga tonight. Lingard passes it back. Donny turns. Want to see some forward passes here. That's got to be a foul. Mata. It was a quick free kick taken by Bailly. I'm not sure Lingard has had his particularly best game this evening as well. Mata passes it to Donny. Forward pass by Donny. Lingard, a bit of space here to run into. Gets dispossessed, but goes to Greenwood. Greenwood has a shot. Keeper saves. VK says, young boys upset 1-2 if we continue to be wasteful. Exator says, passing is turd. A-Bub says, I'm not feeling Jesse. It'll be interesting to hear Ralph's thoughts on this full time. Just because I love hearing his interviews. I don't know about you. I mean, I'd been doing it. I'd been doing it before he was announced as United manager, or when we were linked to him. I was doing the thing I think like everyone was doing. I'm going to watch a load of Ralph Rangnick interviews on YouTube and see his philosophy and all this kind of stuff. But even after the weekend, after the performance against Crystal Palace, and this is such a difference. It really is such a difference. But I was finding myself searching up all of his post-match interviews and all this kind of stuff, because I just hearing him talk about tactics is fascinating. Lest Eddie Man Boast says, I have not seen Man United in Rangnick's 4-2-2 yet. I think we saw it at the weekend. I don't think we're seeing it tonight. I think, like Flex said, it's the 4-1-3-2. Is it? Oh, yeah, 4-1-3-2. Yeah. But again, we're being sloppy with the ball. The Tottenham match tomorrow against Rennes has been postponed. It was really a scary thing, wasn't it? They've got a massive outbreak in their squad. I think it's several first team players, coaches, and if you saw that press conference that Conte did today, I felt really bad for him. Like, he looked genuinely terrified, and why wouldn't you be? Yeah, it was crazy. So that game's been postponed. When they'll play that, we'll have to wait and see. Isn't it an important match as well in terms of the standing of the groups, I think? The young boys had quite a lot of the ball this second half. I don't know if it's because we're starting to tire or we're just not keeping the ball well enough. Crossing to the box, but Henderson saves. Not a lot, no one really offering. It's a bit flat there. Was waiting for someone to actually, offer to receive the ball from Henderson. But it goes long, just a big boot up the pitch. Not particularly to anyone, though. Young boys deal with that very easily. And they have the ball once again. See, that's very avoidable there for me. Henderson's got the ball. What should you do? Someone's got to be open for him. Keep the ball. And that's what Rangnick's going to be saying. You can't control the game if you don't have the ball that much. And I think that might be the one thing he's probably disappointed the most about in this match tonight so far, is that we have not kept the ball effectively enough. The possession stats are there. He's talking about control. At points we controlled this game, but certainly overall, the passing has just been off. And long, but Mata there again. Who is that to? It's just a long ball over the top to nobody. The passing has just been really poor. Ramsaka goes to tackle the young boys player, but doesn't work out. Reader for young boys. Jack Lee says, great game for squad rotation. That's what dead rubbers are for. I mean, ultimately, that's what it's about, isn't it? This is just pure rotation, and this is an exercise in Rangnick, I suppose, getting to know his squad better. Also, allowing the senior players and the starting players to get some rest, much needed rest as well. Cross into the box. Henderson needed to come to collect that, and he did. Rolls it out. Right, can United counter-attack here? Ahmad goes past the player, but it's too much. Oh. Can he win he does win the ball back. Oh, the referee's blown up. Come on. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that one. He fell over. Look at this. He's running with the ball. He just falls over. I mean, his hand's on the back, but it's not enough to go down. It's ridiculous. This referee tonight getting in the way of Luke Shaw, giving away shitty decisions. I sound like Ty, don't I? Always an excuse. Always an excuse. One leg at Old Trafford. Back to Henderson. Hit it up the pitch. Bounce over a load of players there. Is there anyone that's been playing tonight that you would say, okay, they've absolutely given Ranić an option to, I've got to think about him for the weekend? I would argue maybe Greenwood has given Ranić food for thought. You talk about Donny. Obviously made the mistake for the goal. Said a couple of good touches, but in terms of really, shoehorning yourself into that starting 11, or you could argue Greenwood, that might be about it, though, to be honest with you. Free kick to Young Boys. Apparently, Bailly was holding a shirt. Yeah, but he's holding on to Bailly's shirt as well at the same time, by the way. It's just, honestly. Some of this referee decisions tonight. Sometimes you get that, though, with Champions League referees, don't you? Sometimes Champions League referees can be a bit suspect. Or decisions in terms of being given might not be, or that wouldn't be given in Europe and all that kind of stuff. Elanga, good save by the keeper. Ahmad cuts back. Right foot, blocked. United need to be more clinical there. Got to take those moments. 100%. Ball over the top, goes straight to Henderson. Mata. Lou Manu says, can this team win against Arsenal? Maybe. David Lee says, should have scored. But we've had chances in this game. Absolutely had chances in this game. Although total attempts and on target are relatively equal. But, Young Boys' chances have just been 25-yard strikes. United, on the other hand, have had gilt-edged chances that they haven't really taken. Wan-Bissaka, Van der Beek. Passes it to Ahmad. Cuts inside. Doesn't really go anywhere. I think that's been a thing with Ahmad tonight as well. It's just a bit, like I said, there's just been a bit of, and I don't know if it's over. I said being eager. I don't know if it's being rusty. He's coming back from injury as well. Matic is making a bit of a hash of this. It's a free ball. He's going to pull the trigger. Ooh, drags it wide. Again, that comes from being sloppy. Comes from being sloppy from United there. Yeah, that first touch, he takes a touch of his chest match and he just hoofs it in the air. I don't know what he's doing. Player is onside, just drags it wide. But I guess that's what happens when you play a defensive midfielder at centre-back. That's a chance for Elanga there. Keeper makes a good save. You can see what Elanga's trying to do, and he's trying to get it over the keeper. Substitution. Luke Shaw comes off. Teden Mengi comes on. Now, you might say that's a bizarre or strange sub to make, all this kind of stuff, but Luke Shaw was only meant to play 60 minutes this evening as he comes back from concussion. I think he played well. Wan-Bissaka, what are you doing? Makes up for it because he blocks the ball. But again, passing, technical ability, Wan-Bissaka. Mohammed says, will Mengi be left back? The guy that scored the unbelievable goal in the first half for Young Boys, I think, is going off. I don't know. I would have maybe. Who else could it be? I always assumed he was a centre-back. But still 1-1, 60 minutes gone. As I mentioned, this is when we were going to get the young players on. So Mengi's first on, but I'm sure we're going to get some more. Young boys throw in and try and cross it into the box. Doesn't. They try to work it instead. Crosses it. Oh, ball went in. Lingard. It was Ahmad. The young boys players appealing for a penalty. Could have been. It could have been soft. Eventually it goes away. Young boys are growing into this game now. They feel like they can win this. Ball into the box. Ahmad. I mean, he does he get the ball? I don't know how much of the ball he necessarily gets, it must be said, but enough for the referee. Young boys on the attack once again. I think we need to have something freshened up by Ralph here. And if these players are on their feet or if it's quality now, but the levels that were previously there a little bit in the first half have definitely dropped off. But young boys have a lot of the ball now, a lot of possession, and the chances are going their way. I mean, Alanga had the chance. We've squandered chances in this game. We've squandered chances in this game, 100%. We're only 3 likes away from 300 likes, by the way, so if you haven't already, smash a like on the like button. But I think some changes are going to be coming in the next couple of seconds or so. It's a corner right now to young boys. About half an hour left, including added on time. I don't think there'll be a lot of added on time. As I mentioned, these younger players are going to be coming on. Shola Shoretiri is going to be the next name to come on for United. Oh, it's a chance as well for young boys there again. Corner in, and it's essentially, I don't know who was marking him. I want to see a replay of this. Ball over the top. He's peeled. There's like 3 of them at the back post. Nobody's marking him. Again, Tom Heaton apparently is going to be coming on. It's like a friendly game, doesn't it? Flex did mention that Tom Heaton was going to be coming on. Tom Heaton's never played a game for Manchester United, they're saying on commentary. Of course, this is his second spell with the club. He was at the club as a youngster. Young boys have another chance, though. I tell you what, hit an arm. You're going to try and put the ball in. Back post. Wan-Bissaka flicks it away. Good header. The tide has turned massively. Tide has turned massively here. Ball into the box. Cuts it back. This might be it. What a miss. About, 10 yards out. Maybe less than that. And it's an absolute staggering miss from young boys. But they're all over us now, to be honest. Ball in. Cuts it back. He's just reaching a little bit. And it goes wide. But the momentum has absolutely just transformed in this game. Young boys should have had a couple of goals here. Eric Bailly looks to be carrying a knock now. Another news, water is wet. I think he hit his knee on the post. Here we go, see what happened to Bailly. But he didn't really hit anything. He might have pulled a groin though. That might be the problem. Shola Shoretiri is going to be coming on for United and Tom Heaton. A substitute goalkeeper being substituted off. I mean, your second choice goalkeeper, Dean Henson, and Tom Heaton's coming on in the Champions League game. You love to see it. Looks to be a goal kick to Manchester United. The substitution might happen now. So Matic looks like he's blowing a bit as well, doesn't he? Oof. So who's... I think Shoretiri is going to replace Ahmad. And Henderson being replaced by Tom Heaton. Good for Tom Heaton. And Shoretiri on for Ahmad. I mean, Ahmad, I think it was okay tonight. Again, I think he had some decent spell. Got into good chances. Probably should have scored the first half. Put your left foot through it. But again, I think eagerness, maybe a bit of rustiness. Took too many touches. Too eager to impress. There's still a lot of development there to go, I think. Okay, Mata. Bailly just lumps it up the pitch. We've done that a couple of times tonight. It's very strange. I'm surprised how long we've played it at points. Lingard goes for a crossfield pass. Does not pay off. Losing out to the Young Boys player. There's a bit of a counter-attack on by Young Boys. Puts the ball through. Oof. He went to Kanga. Is the referee going to blow up for that one? He is. A-Bub says, why sub the goalkeeper for F's sake? Ahmad was over-eager. It's not the night to get angry at anything like that. It's a... I think think of his job at the moment, Ralph Rangnick. His job at the moment is to win over the squad, get a good harmonious dressing room going, get people to believe in what he's doing. Tom Heaton, for his age, he is a senior figure in that dressing room. He is, because of his age, and I think he realised, to be honest, I almost see it as a bit smart by Ralph Rangnick. You get over those characters and get those characters believe in you, it will go through to the other players via osmosis. You get those senior pros on your side, they'll do everything for you. Tom Heaton's not going to probably play another game this season, but just by it's the message, isn't it? Those players will be like, good for Ralph, giving Tom Heaton a game. So I think it's smart, and at the end of the day, look, we're through it regardless. It doesn't matter. Obviously, we want to win. But from a dynamics point of view of squad harmony, I think it's the worst move in the world. Man United get a free kick there. Fell on Shoretiri. Adisa says, is it a Mad Hatter genius moment from Rangnick? Probably. VK says, happy for Heaton. Casa says, might have been Henderson's last game for United. You never know. Certainly a possibility. Again, what are we doing with this? Just lumping it up the pitch. We do a couple of short passes, and then either it's an attempt at a crossfield pass that doesn't work out, or just absolutely just lumps it. Is that going to be another foul? Another foul on Shoretiri. Ray Diaz says, am I overly critical right now? I feel disappointed in Donny's performance so far. All the talking and playing, he's below average right now. I wouldn't say he's played particularly well. I think I would have hoped for him to affect the game a little bit more. I think at times his passing's been a bit sloppy, to be honest with you. He's had some nice moments. Also, you do have to talk about, game time. He hasn't played as much, but when he came in, certainly under Carrick, and when he came on Ollie's last game at Watford, he affected the game and played better. But he is playing deeper this evening. He's not playing as the 10. He's playing as a deep 6. The issue is that some of us have been saying that he can do the job in the deep 6, and I don't know if tonight's necessarily completely proved it. Oh, Mengi slipped. Kanga, it's a chance. It's a great block by Mengi. Recovers very well. He slipped, but he recovered very, very well. Wan-Bissaka looks to be down here. Not sure what's happened to Wan-Bissaka. Zaid Miasi's rolling on the floor laughing. I guess he just saw Arsenal's last performance against Everton, maybe. Or Arsenal's performance against Manchester United. Or he saw that it's another European night and Arsenal aren't involved. There's lots to laugh about, Zane. There's lots to laugh about. I mean, pick your choice. Pick your choice. Which one do you want to... Which one? Laugh at your manager? Laugh at his hair doesn't move? Oh, he gets a knock in the face, Wan-Bissaka. Ray Diaz says, well, you figure he's playing in a deep six to see if he can play with the first team as a deep six, right? But again, and I think if that is the case, then maybe Ranić's decision might be a bit made, you know? There's Mason Greenwood's goal. It's a tremendous goal. Really great goal. But 73 minutes gone. Still 1-1. Day 2 of the Ashes this evening. So I can bring myself to watch it. Of course, we've got, they're going through the games at the weekend. We've got Norwich at the weekend, Norwich away. And then the following Tuesday, we've got Brentford away. That's going to be a tough one. But we're getting to that stage of the year, isn't it, where it's football on all the time, you know? Christmas period for players and managers is horrible, but Christmas period for fans is great, isn't it? Boxing Day football, love it. Love Boxing Day football. David Lee says Bayern 3, Barcelona 0. Barcelona going into the Europa League. Who would have thought it? Barcelona going into the Europa League is one of those things that you might see sometimes on like FM. And you're like, oh, that's crazy. That would never happen in real life. It's happening. It's happening. Ray says you can't really make fun of Barca going out since it happened to us last year. Wow, short memories. Short memories, Ray. You got to enjoy your victories. Enjoy your wins. Ball I thought was out there, but it's not. It was kept in. Mengi back to Heaton. Certainly Villarreal. Certainly Young Boys. Because I just saw the Atalanta Villarreal thing pop up on the screen. Certainly Young Boys second half had pretty much all the game. I mean, Alanga should have scored his chance, no doubt about that. And the tempo has certainly died off quite a bit. But as mentioned, Young Boys still got something to fight for. I think they can still finish. They can still play Barcelona in the Europa League. They wouldn't draw them in the next round, of course. But they need to win this game. Shorter was caught, but the referee hasn't give it. Chance here for Young Boys. Cross it into the box. Headed by Bailly. Second time. Martin's just... It's going to go out for a throw-in. Goes out for a throw-in after a Young Boy shot. Sufan says, Barcelona have fallen so far. Going to be playing against Gdansk on Thursdays, soon with Braithwaite starting. Braithwaite, there was this weird fact about him, wasn't there? That he was like the richest player at the Euros this summer because he's invested in all of these companies and he's actually like unbelievably rich. He doesn't need to be a footballer. It's crazy. David Lee says he's turned over to the snooker. Well, at least you're sticking with us, David. That's the important thing. That's the dedication that David Lee has. It's to be a bit of a head injury there. Shorteri is down. He's been in the wars a bit since he's come on, hasn't he? He's had a ton of fouls against him. See the replay here. Just gets clattered over the back of him. His contributions to the game, Shorteri, has just been to be just be attacked. Here's Mata coming forward with the ball. Greenwood tries to put the ball in the box or headed away. Greenwood once again trying to dart past some players. Tried to pass it to Shorteri. Mata. Lingard. Here comes Wan-Bissaka. Is he going to cross it into the box? He's going to cross? Of course he isn't. It's a young boy's throwing. It's coming down a bit now in Manchester. Manchester United throw-in. It hasn't been the best game, shall we say, for Wan-Bissaka this evening so far. I would say it's probably a safe bet that that Diogo Dalot is going to start on Saturday. Here's Mengi. Van der Beek. And it's, I mean, obviously, completely different team, so completely different performance. But even there hasn't been much of a press this game, although we're playing different tactics. Get up. Oh, you are joking me. He's booked him. It's a Shorteri. I think he did get a little bit of a shove, but no, he just push him over. Shorteri's going. It's only one hand. Well, just kind of, if you push him, if you push him. So it's a young boy's free kick. Nearly 10 minutes left. Still Manchester United 1, young boys 1. Young boy's going to try and whip this ball into the box, seemingly. Go on, Tom Heaton. Ball in. It's a poor ball. Cleared away from the Manu Matic. Nothing worse than that, is there? Nothing worse than that. Professional footballer can't... We were spoilt for years, Manchester United, because David Beckham's never doing a corner that isn't going past the first man. David Beckham's, his corners or his free kicks, always perfection. The amount of goals Manchester United got from set pieces because of David Beckham. Young boy going down the right-hand side, cuts it back a little bit. Mengi dispossessed him. Mengi's done well since he's come on, and he's playing at left-back. But yeah, going back to like David Beckham, because of his like aura and his celebrity status, you know, Posh and Becks and all this kind of stuff, like it kind of gets overlooked. You know, people just assume, oh, he's an alright football player. Like, technically, you talk about technique. We talk about Wan-Bissaka and not having a good first touch and crossing ability. David Beckham, outrageous. Like his ability to cross the ball, even later on in his career when he turned into a defensive midfielder, a deep line playmaker, a 6. His ability to spray the ball, passes, free kicks, set pieces, just it's worth its weight in gold. And you don't see players like that nowadays. Set piece specialists that are reliable from every set piece. Shot goes over the bar. That's why people like, you know, someone like James Ward-Prowse is so valuable at Southampton, because set pieces, he's reliable. You just don't see it nowadays. Kotso says, this game is so boring. I'm here to watch you watch this. I appreciate you joining us, Kotso. Chris says, where is KG at? I don't know. I thought it was at the game, but someone's saying he might be at an awards thing. He's not doing the match view, though. Caleb Cole says, the return of Wambi Bambi. NIMBMF says Trent. That's true. Trent's very reliable from set pieces. Tishepo says Kimmich is reliable from set pieces. There's a handful. Certainly. But not as many as you would think. Like, you would think like bare minimum, you know. Cuts back. Oh, worked into the box, young boys here. They might have another chance. Dragged it wide to go again. Young boys have had chances. Absolutely chances in this game. David Lee says, did Chelsea lose earlier? I know that Zenit scored in the last minute. I don't know if they lost. Robbie Savage's son's about to come on. Charlie Savage. Robbie's going to start crying. Bear in mind that, of course, Robbie Savage was in the class of 92, but he never played a game for Manchester United. His sons beat him to it. I mean, to be fair, some of the noises that Robbie Savage has made during Manchester United commentary in the Champions League this year anyway, like when Ronaldo scored and all that kind of stuff, he's been doing all these kinds of noises. Let alone, can you imagine if his son scores? Can you imagine? You'll run on the pitch. You'll get tackled by a security guard. Chris says, you're doing awesome, bro. Great live stream, loving it. Appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate the contribution as well. Appreciate everyone that's joined us tonight. I know it's a game that's a bit, you know, it's a game that doesn't really have much importance on it. Last game of the group stage, 11 changes, rotation. It can be quite dry. Certainly, second half's been very dry to watch. But, you know, it's just good to watch it with friends, isn't it? Good to watch it with friends. Got a great community here at United View. Doing great stuff. It's crazy that it is only just starting, but I mean, I've been on board now since July, whenever it first started. I mean, I think I came in a couple of weeks after it first started, and it just feels like it's just gone like that. And I've absolutely loved every second of it, and I do not intend on going anywhere anytime soon because it's just great. It's great. I love it. I love it. I love speaking to you guys all the time. I love interacting with you guys. I love talking about Manchester United, and I love the dialogue as well. And I think that's the most important thing. Is sometimes it can, you know, doing this can become a bit of a, you know, a bit of a preacher position. You know what I mean? I talk, you listen. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be a dialogue, and people can disagree with you, and people can have constructive conversations and opinions, and you don't have to rant and rave and be over the top and be insincere. Like, if you ever met me in real life, this is just me. I'm like this. Sometimes, you know, when I do these match views, people say, "Oh, you didn't really celebrate that goal." But when I watch football, I don't really celebrate goals that much. You know, I'll talk, I'll shout, but everyone's different, and everyone's allowed to be different. Everyone's allowed to be different in how they watch football, view it, engage it. And I think that's what's great about United View is we've got such a diverse community, and it's great. Switch the ball to Jesse Lingard. United a bit up the pitch for the first time, really, in a while. Cuts back. Tempo's very slow from United. They do it to be a bit out on their feet. Matic puts it to Eric Bailly. Donny van der Beek. Ball over the top. Goes out for a goal kick. Ollie's iPad says boring game. VK says Savage Jr. Be amazing with his dad on commentary. Wilson says, why does it feel like I'm watching Ollie's team for the past 30 minutes? Well, in fairness, if it feels like you're watching Ollie's team, but Ranić's made 11 changes plus these other people that have been coming on, that's not bad, considering that you're watching that football with United's starting 11, best 11. And we're seeing this now with United's not even their second string, their youth team. So again, you have to cut a bit of credit. Oof, short ball by Mengi, Heaton gets there just in time. Van der Beek forward pass. It's a foul on Elanga. I tell you what, these young boys a lot tonight. They've been vicious with the fouls, haven't they? Vicious. Matic to Bay. Oh, Matic slips up on the ball. This is an error. Strikes. Goes wide. Not the first time Matic has made a bit of an error. Looks like the substitutions are going to be made now. Is Robbie Savage going to get his moment? Here we go. They're going to come on now. Are they? Oh, they've kicked off again. Chris says Iqbal is a quality young player. It's a foul. Oh, come on. This ref tonight has been suspect, by the way, as well. Some of the decisions. I don't want to say too much because I'll get fined like Jude Bellingham. I'm also apprehensive like Robbie Savage. Right now the substitutions are going to be made, I think. Zidane Iqbal's replacing Jesse Lingard. We've got Zidane at Old Trafford. Finally. Finally. Charlie Savage replacing Juan Mata. Charlie Savage coming on, and immediately they're showing Robbie Savage on commentary. Nothing like taking away the moment. Can see Robbie had his phone out as well. Probably texting people at home. Young boys corner. Corner to young boys. We're in the final minute of regulation time, then we'll be going into stoppage time. Corner in. Oof. Donny van der Beek. Zidane keeps it in. Oh no, she's given up for throw-in. But I know I've seen, I'm sure some people will be like, it's terrible tonight, Manchester United. It's 11 changes plus like 5 changes as well. I'm sure the people that get angry tonight would probably get triggered if they watched a friendly as well, a pre-season friendly. Even though it's Champions League group stage, I know, but that's what it feels like this game. Another block by Bailly. I do feel like they're holding on a little bit. Play's going on, but I think there are people on the pitch. There's 3 pitch invaders. The one's running around. The stewards can't catch him. Jeez. To be fair, it's probably the loudest Old Trafford's been in the second half. Why you would do that, I have no idea. Dumb. What have I got? Taken right past Ranić. Jeez. Quarter though to young boys. What's the referee blown up for now? say, well, there's a free player in the middle of the box. You do get these players are kind of looking around, going, I have no idea where I'm meant to be. And the second minute of injury time, is he going to put the ball in or not? Victor says one of them is KG. Imagine. He's got a yard of pace. He's got a yard of pace, KG. People don't think it. He was running on. Wamby, you're letting me down. I see, look. That's what Tony says. Wamby, you're letting me down. Come on, Wamby. I expect better. My son, come on. He's got a yard of pace. Hit him with a goal kick. Flicked on by Mengi. He's done well since he came on, actually. Mengi's header. Long ball by Young Boys. Into the channel. Go get across into the box once again. Tom Heaton collects. Go on, Tom. Oh, he just throws it. Nearly throws it right to Greenwood, but Young Boys have the ball straight back again. They try and switch the ball again to the the right-hand side. Ball into the box. Well, not the box, just outside of the box. Long ball over the top, headed away by Mengi once again. But Young Boys had pretty much all the ball. All the ball second half. No doubt about it. A-Bub says, agreed, I like Mengi. Rotem says, Randy Savage over Robbie Savage. Well, how can you not like Randy Savage? I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Eugene says, I never read the comments. I see you, Eugene. I see you. I see it all. About 30 seconds left in this one. Won't dress it up. It's been a dull second half. It's been a dull second half, but... Young Boys, again, they're trying to remain in Europe. That should be it. I mean, they might add a little bit on because of the pitch invaders. That took about an extra minute, didn't they? But we wouldn't have beaten Young Boys, in both of them, in the away or home leg. And I think Ralph will be aware of that. I think Bowers nearly gave the ball away there. Do we have any extra time? With the ball forward. Bayer on the ball. He's been decent in this game. Bayer, I thought, played well. Greenwood switches it. Shola Shoretiri. Savage. Van der Beek's he got a turn. Bit of space. Move the ball forward. Ball over the top. Wan-Bissaka, can you deliver it? Ball into the box. Oh, he drops it. Oh. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Full time. Manchester United 1, Young Boys 1. It ends all square. Manchester United, of course, top their group anyway. But there might be a bit of an injury there. Wan-Bissaka's fallen off the pitch. Looks to be in a bit of a heap. Good to see that the linesman just didn't check on him, by the way. David Pearson says, I found the whole night to be disrespectful to the Champions League and to anyone who'd had a bet on United. Lots of accumulators downplaying exhibition team as he did. Very strange by Ranić. I would just say, David, I would disagree in that we were already through. We have played so many games recently in such a short period of time. It would be madness to play your strongest starting 11. He's having a look at all of his squads. And also I mentioned about people like bringing on Heaton. It's about winning over the dressing room. Win over your senior pros and you'll win over the remainder of the squad. And give some of these young players moments they're never going to forget. Ultimately, it's not even in the sense that we were already through. We want to win the group. We won the group anyway. So, and if talking about people's accumulators, who cares? Who cares? Ray Diaz says, thanks, Owen. See you at the match reaction. Wow, that's the thing. There is no match reaction this evening. We're just going to go for about 10 extra minutes here. So we can carry on for about 10 extra minutes here. What did everyone think? Because like I said, there is no match reaction, so we'll go into as if this was the match reaction. Who is your man of the match? Who is your man of the match from that one? I think first half was relatively promising. I think in Spurs, first half we played well. Great goal by Mason Greenwood. Should have been about 3-0 up, to be honest with you. You had the chance where it was pulled back to Juan Mata, deflected over the bar. Ahmad should have done better. Wan-Bissaka looks to be in a bit of trouble here, by the way. He's still down by the advertising hoarding. And I think he's set up, but he's holding his leg. He might be, there's a stretcher there. He might be in a bit of trouble here. I'm not sure what's going on. Are they prepping the stretcher? It might be just Dallo happening anyway. He looks to be holding his. Is that his hand or is? He looks to be in certainly some discomfort. So Wan-Bissaka might be a bit of a knock. A lot of people saying Eric Bailly, man of the match. Tony says it. Sefo, Ben, Zara. There you go. I'll get there in the end. Yeah, I would say that I would probably agree with that. Eric Bailly, man of the match. I think he did very well. Look, Eric Bailly is that player I mentioned before. That if I was in this Ranić system, if we're playing 4-2-2, I would have Bailly and Varane as my two centre backs because I think you need pace, and that's exactly what Bailly has. Several good blocks tonight. I think considering he was playing with a guy as a centre back partner in Nemanja Matic that isn't a centre back, I think he did well as well. So I'd probably say Eric Bailly. I think Greenwood play well in parts. People like Elanga and specifically Ahmad, I felt like they were trying to force it maybe too much this evening. Maybe they were over eager. But that was kind of the problem, I guess, with Manchester United as well in general this evening, wasn't it? Is that we were sloppy. We were sloppy as well. I was surprised at times how direct we were going, just long balls over the top. But again, I don't... And I'm not, giving Ranić the night off just because, he's his new coach, all this kind of stuff. In reality, you made 11 changes and then even more changes because of all the people you brought on. They drew. Maybe we should have won that game. Second half, we were nowhere near it. Elanga had a chance, should have scored maybe, but certainly after that, it was all young boys. But it was one of those games. It did feel a bit like a pre-season friendly at times. And maybe that's because there was nothing riding on that game. Nothing at all. Arguably, what was most important out of this evening was some of the fringe players getting minutes, but arguably what's just as important is some of the first team 11 getting some rest and recovery, because that's what they need right now. And the group isn't actually even technically decided yet because Atalanta and Villarreal's game was postponed because of snow in Italy, so that game isn't even decided yet. That'll be decided tomorrow. I'm not going to criticise it too much. Jazz says, wanted to see more of Zidane Iqbal. Should have brought him in sooner. Lingard seemed to like he thought he was too big of a player to be aging with our B team. He didn't want to be in there. I would agree. I mean, we don't know how Lingard was feeling by any stretch of the imagination. I would agree that I felt Lingard was really off it. Really, really off it today. Surprisingly off it. You can look into that any which ways, can't you? You can look into that of, well, he's already out the door. You can look into that as he doesn't care anymore. Or you can look at it as he's not been playing, so he wasn't that good. I don't know how to look into it, but I think he wasn't good tonight. And I think also, to be honest with you as well, I think a question, and we'll talk about this now, I think a discussion point has to be on Donny van der Beek. This was a big evening for him because we've been crying for him to play. And I know he hasn't had a lot of games, so you can argue, well, he hasn't had a lot of games, so his levels weren't up to what they should be. I don't know if he particularly affected the game that much tonight. I don't know if he played particularly well this evening. Some good passes at time, but also, like I said, in possession, we were sloppy. We were sloppy at points tonight. You know, Ralph Rangnick has spoken about control over and over again, hasn't he? We want to control games. We want to control the game. We want to control possession. We didn't see that. And again, that probably, most likely, is due to the intense rotation and playing a different formation as well. Played 4-1-3-2, get there in the end. Maybe that would explain the difference. But I'm not going to go in on the players. I'm certainly not going to go in on the manager. We're through. We didn't lose the game. The most important game this week is the game at the weekend against Norwich. Because if we lose that one, or if we draw, or we play like that tonight with our strongest team, that's a cause for concern. Super chat from Ray Diaz, appreciate the contribution, says, out of everyone tonight, the only ones that show they can play with the first team are Bailly and Greenwood. Hope Wan-Bissaka is okay. I think Wan-Bissaka, injury or not, had he been completely fine coming off the pitch, I don't think he starts at the weekend. I really didn't see anything from Wan-Bissaka tonight that made me say, okay, yep, he's going to be challenging Dalot. I just did not see that whatsoever, which is a shame because I felt that given Dalot's performances, Wan-Bissaka would be, right, I'm going to really challenge him. You know, we're going to really fight this out. But going forward with Rangnick's formation, specifically that 4-2-2, I mentioned before, I just don't see how he fits in that. I don't see how his qualities fit into that. And again, I know people were saying, well, where's this Wan-Bissaka criticism come from? You weren't criticising Wan-Bissaka several months ago, all this kind of stuff. Wan-Bissaka hasn't been particularly good just throughout this season, but we've been aware of Wan-Bissaka's qualities for a while. That he's arguably better defensively than he is going forward. I still think that's a bit of a fallacy as well, to be honest with you, because there are aspects of his defensive game that just aren't good enough, position-wise, etc. But now there's such a great emphasis on these fullbacks of being technically sound, going forward, putting crosses into the box, being more offensively mobile. Wan-Bissaka just doesn't do that. And I wonder, again, how does he fit into that? Jazz says, Wan-Bissaka is below par with the ball. He lacks basic fundamentals, and I don't think he can improve even with proper coaching or training. His foundation just ain't right, which is an interesting one there. A couple of other super chats as well. Make sure I don't miss them. This one from Len says, Wan-Bissaka, Matic, and Mata were just atrocious. Interesting. I didn't think Wan-Bissaka played particularly well. I think Matic, I'm not going to say Matic was great because he wasn't. He's not a centre-back by any stretch of the imagination, and he's not going to play centre-back for Manchester United again this season because there isn't going to be this opportunity to do it. I'll give him credit in that the first goal, the move started off by Nemanja Matic. It's a forward pass, breaking up the lines, but he made some two very suspect errors coming out from the back that could have easily resulted in a goal against someone with high quality players at front. So I can see what you're saying there. Mata, I think he made some good passes at times, but he was like Donny in that I wouldn't say they had horrendous games, but anything good they did in the game was negated by the bad. It kind of balanced out that whilst Mata did a couple of nice forward passes, also as well, there were some really sloppy passes. His mobility's practically gone at this point. And there's just no chance. And I know Matic took a pay cut, didn't he? He took a pay cut to have that extended contract this season. But, you know, I just think that he ain't playing in the Premier League this season, Mata. He's not, because his level's just not there anymore. This is the kind of game he'd play in this season, but there aren't any left that are going to be this sort of level where they've got nothing riding on the game and you're going to be playing all of these youngsters. So I don't know how many more games Mata will have, to be honest with you, for Manchester United. Matic will keep playing games because he can come in, do a job as the game comes on. If you need to defend a lead, he will come on. Mata, on the flip side, I don't see him playing many games going forward. And that's not because he was terrible tonight. It's just because his levels just dropped off so considerably that's it. That's really it. Dexter says, unfair to be judged playing with subpar teammates. Ben says, Owen, what most important is Barca will play in the Europa League. It's crazy. Rotem says, Owen, I would not be harsh on Donny. We need to consider that these young players didn't make runs that Ronaldo, Cavani and others do. I feel that's probably being a bit too generous, to be honest, wrote him. I think if you asked Donny van der Beek tonight if he had a good game, he would probably say not really. He was at fault for the goal. I think the concerning thing would be for Donny going forward is that many people, myself included, have been talking about Donny. He doesn't have to be a 10. He can be an 8. He can even be a 6. I don't think it worked for him as a 6 this evening. It could still work for him as an 8, but I think Rangnick will look at this and say as a 6, probably it's not going to work. The issue is that in the 4-2-2, you play with 2 6s and 2 kind of wide 10s, and maybe that's where Donny will play going forward. But yeah, I wouldn't say he had a particularly great game this evening, I must be said. And I don't think he would say that either. Luis Silva says, if this was Ollie coaching, we would have eaten 3 goals. Not a win, but I could see what we were trying to do. Early days, but I'm enjoying it. To be honest with you, and David Lee says, smash the like button. Yes, of course. Got nearly 500 people watching. Just how many likes? 365 likes. If we can get up to 400 likes before we wrap things up, we'll wrap things up shortly here. But there isn't a ton, to be honest with you, that you can really take from this game. Because when you make 11 changes and you bring on, 4, I think you made, was it 5 subs? When you bring on another goalkeeper and you bring on all of these youth players, there's really not you can read into it. The only things you can kind of take from the game is that those players that are meant to be contending for first team spots, did they stand out? Wan-Bissaka, if I had to say thumbs up, thumbs down, I'd say thumbs down. He didn't stand out. Donny, if I had to say, did he make the manager question if to pick him at the weekend? Probably not. I think Greenwood maybe with the goal, and he looked lively at times. I think Eric Bailly certainly. Out of all of the players that came on second half, I think Mengi did well, especially considering he was left back. I think traditionally he plays as centre back. I think he did well at points, but it's difficult to judge, isn't it? It's difficult to judge, but we're through, top of the group. We know our options as well. I think David Lee was saying that we've got 6 teams we could play there, so. We'll see how it goes. The most important thing is that we're through. Like I said, the most important thing is that those players that needed the rest and recovery got it, to be honest with you. And as always, I'm just fascinated and excited to see what Ralf Rangnick's saying after the match, because I love me a Ralf Rangnick press conference. I love me a Ralf Rangnick interview, the way he breaks down the game, talks about tactics and all that kind of stuff. It's exciting. Let me just double check the teams we can be drawn against, and I'll wrap this up here. Let's have a quick check. So we could play in the next round. We could play Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Inter Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, RB Salzburg, or Sporting Lisbon. Who would you like to play? Who would you like to play in that next round? People you want to avoid: Atletico, PSG. The thing is, before, what did I say? When Ralf first came in, of course it was even official. When Ralf came in, I said, Ralf Rangnick's Manchester United versus Mauricio Pochettino's PSG. I said it'd be like at the end of Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. You got Ralf Rangnick, the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you've got Pochettino, the Anakin Skywalker, and what happens? He chops his arms and his legs off. You were the chosen one. Oh, I hate you. All that kind of stuff. I could see it happening. But you'd want to avoid Atletico, PSG, Inter Milan, Salzburg. I mean, obviously there'll be a great connection there because, of course, Rangnick and Red Bull in general. So that would be certainly interesting. Sporting, I fancy us to beat Sporting. Benfica, I'd fancy us to beat Benfica. To be honest, against Inter Milan, that would be a tough game. But there are some positive draws and there are some difficult ones there. But who would you like? Who would you like to face in the second round? Santiago says, "Is it just me, but felt Donny was a lone man in midfield? Again, maybe the formation just wasn't suited to him." Ronaldo says Sporting. Kieran says Salzburg. Tosefo wants PSG. Ben says Sporting. A lot of people are saying Sporting. Obviously Benfica, Sporting. So yeah, I think the general consensus is Lisbon or Benfica. Maybe Salzburg as well, but they're not a bad side. They're not a bad side. I just think, look, I understand PSG. People go, oh, with the players they got, they're not playing that well, all that kind of stuff. They're still Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. They're still good players, and I know we do have a record against them that's decent, but who knows? If it was PSG. There's so much drama in there. It's Ronaldo, Messi. It's, Ranić, Pochettino. There's loads in there, isn't there? There is loads in there, and it would be box office. And part of me as a United fan that wants to play the biggest and best teams goes, PSG would be great. But also part of me goes, the Champions League, it's all about the draw. If you get a couple of good draws in a row, next thing you know, you're in like the semi-final. So I know it's maybe people will go, oh, you show no ambition because you want to play the weaker teams. Yeah, I do. I want to play the weaker teams because I want to get far in the tournament as possible. Because once you start getting to like semi-finals, anything's possible. Then suddenly you could win it. I'm not saying Man United are going to win the Champions League, but I'm saying if you get later on in the competition, anything opens up. So the draw is so important. The draw is so important. But we'll see. Look, guys, as I mentioned, I said we wouldn't have a match reaction tonight. We're just going to wrap it up here. As I mentioned, Flex will probably right now be talking to the fans outside the stadium. So the fan views will be coming up. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Smash a like on the like button too. What have we got on tap for the remainder of the week? Thursday, I don't know what we've got on Thursday. Friday, I'm assuming we'll have a match preview or a press conference, and then of course Saturday it's game day. So we'll have all of the exciting stuff as we play Norwich away. So it's going to be a long road trip for Flex and whole match day experience. I think KG's doing the match view. That's that day, and I'll be doing the match reaction after, and all the fan views. And then Sunday, because we'll be playing on a Saturday, finally we'll actually have a full view. We'll actually be able to do a full view on a Sunday, which is exciting. So plenty of content to come this week. But guys, enjoy your Wednesday. Manchester United through to the next round of the Champions League, top of the group, and the Champions League adventure continues. I'll speak with you again very, very soon.